All right, so today we're going to work on a little bit of the control. All right, so a system control or the objects control. So right here, this is a very basic consoles here. So by tapping on the four directions here, up, left, down, right. So this module is able to control this object's four directions here. And then definitely you could add four more directions button, right? So like a diagonal locations here. So the code here is pretty straightforward. So you need a class here and define it is a view controllers here. And definitely also need to implement the UI table view delegate and the UI table view data source. I'll be explaining what are those. And right here, the size, the square size is going to be 100 here. Well, definitely you can modify that into 200 here, right? And if you compile the code, and obviously the square is going to be bigger, as you can see right here. But the usual I show the square size, all right? Um, Probably we want to use some variables to control, right? Okay, there we go. And right here, so I'm going to move it back to 100. So that's why officially or initially is a 10 every step is because it's just 10% of, I mean, every move here. But usually, yes, something like that. Good. Okay, so now I'm going to work on a little bit of the auto this method here. Okay, so the auto right here, as you can see, whenever you call this method, all right, the timer is able to um, execute this code every 1 second here, right? Okay. And R is going to be random variables or random integer. So the integers range is basically the index value of the colors, this array here, because I want to grab either red or blue, right? Okay, so and then I'm going to use the green. So therefore, I guess you can see the result a bit clear. And let's give it a go. Let's see what is going on here. All right, then you have a green, you have red, you have a green, and then you have red, right? So it's every 1 second here. So timer is very important. All right, so timer is quite important in mobile app development or design, even design, right? Okay. It is because such as real-time data fetching, okay, and updating, right? Okay. So such as a chat system here, because you need to keep refreshing the browser or keep refreshing the table view to download the data here, right? Okay. There we go. So this is 1 second here. You could also turn that into 0.1 second. Um, and then you'll be seeing it will be doing the refreshing process really fast. Okay, so it's like pretty fast, right? Okay, so I'm going to use 1 second as an example here. All right, okay, so R right here, this is integer random variables picker here. All right, so pretty easy. So it's from 0 to the number of that here. And I can also modify that into probably I'm going to have another background color, maybe purple, right? Okay. So then it has three options here, right? Okay. So that's why I'm using these variables as a range here. Good. Um, okay. And the next step is probably we can control the buttons locations here, right? Okay. So for instance, we have a this is up button here, and we convert it as create buttons here, right? Okay. Where is the create buttons here? So we have this one here. So this will basically create a button, right? Okay. And of course you can do this separately. Okay. So the action is basically okay. So we have move up and we have move down, right? Okay. So all of these methods here. Okay. The move up method here. So move square, and basically this will modify the square's locations. Because obviously, basically, we do not change the actual coordinates, but we move the um, we basically have a minus size, right? Okay, so and let me check this one here. Okay, so this is 10, right? So it will go up. Why is a minus? It is because the coordinates of these is, well, the down direction is a plus and the right direction is plus, right? So if you want to move these objects up, that simply means you are subtracting 1 from the equation, right? Or subtracting 10 from the equations here. All right, good. So this is the overall stuff here. Okay, right here, I'm going to probably just comment this method here. As you can see, if I comment this method, so the auto or the timer wouldn't be working, right? Okay, so it basically stops here. Good. But the location is working, right? Okay, so then you can control these objects and track its locations here, right? Okay, there we go. Good. Okay, and of course for these you can such as I have my squares, right? So square view, and I can manually modify its x coordinates here. So this is center period x, and suppose I'm going to keep subtracting, such as what? Keep subtracting the size square size. Yes, okay. Keep subtracting the same numbers here. And then I also need to use a self to grab this data here, right? And then let's run this code one more time to see what is going on. But it wouldn't work. Why? Because I didn't call this method here. So I need to uncomment or yes, uncomment, redo the job right here. And then let's see what is going on. All right, as you can see, keep well, just keep moving to the left, right? Okay, until it's done. Okay. And then I'm going to stop here. So as you can see, so basically, if you manage these, right, you can definitely create auto-pilot system, right? Like self-driving car stuff, right? So, well, this is basically the ideas here. And let's see what else. All right, so set up squares. Basically, set up is the location. The center x is going to be the views. The center subtract the square size over 2. And of course, the y coordinate here. And it will also set up the square views, the locations or initialize it, right? Okay, so because the square view itself it is just a class casting into a class UI view here, and we need to give it a real like instance or objects here, right? Okay. And the squares a background color. Definitely, you can modify the color into any color you want. Maybe a little bit better color like system blue, and a square view period, such as once you have a little bit layer here, corner radius, it's going to be 5. And then let's run this code one more time. And by doing so, the overall look is going to be a bit better. It's just a bit modern design around the corner here. Okay. But in the meanwhile, I think I'm going to um, I'll just uh, I'll just delete this line. So therefore it will stay. Okay, right. Okay. And what else? Okay, so and definitely, all right, so if you don't want to, well, yes, this is okay, right? This is okay. Right here, all of these here. And the next step is set up the controls here, right? So we have buttons here. So that these is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 buttons here, and we also create a 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And the buttons frame. Well, this is how would you implement its locations here, right? Okay. So I'm going to also give you a task. So you're going to create a diagonal, right? So like the yes, the X, right? Okay. And then we have set up tables here. So the table view is basically all the information tables here, right? Okay, so when I move the objects to the right-hand side, it also has the data updated, right? Okay, so this is a table stuff here. Well, create a buttons here. So this is a different way to create UI button. Well, definitely you can use the previous old-fashioned way. That is absolute 100% no problem. You can do that. Okay. And a move squares here. So the move squares. All right. So we have these methods here, right? Okay. So all of everything's right here is well, basically just support you to move its locations, right? Okay, good. And then update the position. So we also have update the position because every times you do need to call this method here, and this method is called right here, right? Okay. So why why you have to do this is because you move it, you have to update its location, right? Okay, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Right, good. Okay, so and right here, so I'm going to forward the code to you, and I want you to basically just uh run this code at your end. I'll be updating the code at the Google Docs, and I want you to try this by yourself. All right. Okay. Hello, Alex. Do you have any questions?
Uh, Let me open up my Xcode.
Sure.